Hey guys, it's Lisa. How's it going? So I saw on Twitter this morning that they said Britney Spears does not worship the devil. Somebody had hacked her account, her Twitter account, and I thought that was really funny because it was like, who's the person that thinks that Britney Spears worships the devil? And whoever you are, I want to invite you to my next dinner party because you probably are like so interesting to talk to. The things you believe, the things you see. I want to pick your brain, whoever you are. I want to know you. I have Dream Doc Film is one Twitter account, and then there's Lisa Murray, that's the other Twitter account. I know sometimes I send out messages to both, and that's really irritating. Do you guys have any suggestions? Do you think I should do it like just from Lisa Murray and then retweet it at the other one, or should I just, you know what I mean? Like, how should I do that? Because there's gonna be times I need to hit both people, because you know how people are. They don't always subscribe to both. So your suggestions are welcome. I want to take a moment and just tell you guys that I'm overflowing with gratitude because I don't have to go into an office every day. And even though I miss some of the people that I worked with at Paramount because they're really fun and funny and I miss laughing with them, for me, it was miserable. It was like really hard for me to commute every day. I didn't like it. It just wasn't what I need to be doing for me. And I felt like every day it was like, this is wrong. This isn't me. I need to be doing something different. And if you feel that way, you understand what I'm talking about. So even though it's a good situation, I mean, it was at Paramount Pictures, it's beautiful. I worked with great people. It was just, I didn't feel like I was supposed to be there. I didn't want to be there. It wasn't my thing. It wasn't my calling. And I really felt like really, 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 really strong that I wasn't supposed to be there and that I was supposed to work from home or be more flexible. I mean, I felt like that my whole life. I've always felt like that. I am so grateful that the opportunity has come up for me that I do not have to do that and that I can work from home. I can't even begin to tell you because people ask me like, okay, so are you happy or, I don't, and I'm like, I know some of my Twitters are like, God, you sound so depressed. I know. I'm just trying to be honest, trying to keep it real. It's still a struggle. There's still things that are frustrating and stuff, but, it's life. But generally, I'm very, very grateful. I'm very grateful and I'm very happy. And I encourage you, if there's something that you feel really strongly about and it's something big that you have to change your life for, I completely encourage you to do that because there's a reason why you're feeling that. It's not just, everyone wants you to believe like, oh, that's life. You're at work. That's all part of life. Welcome to the real world. That's fine. But you know what? There's a lot of people that don't do that. There's a whole other way that people live lives. There's people who work in the restaurant industry and they work at night. There's people who, I don't know, work seasonally and they make enough money in a season that they then take other seasons off. I mean, there's all kinds of lifestyles out there. And I just want to say, I encourage you to go where your heart is telling you you need to go because it's where you need to go. It's where you're going to be happy. It's the most important place. Do it. Do it today. Do it right now. I mean, even if you can't do it right now, start a plan. Build out, like if it's going to take 3 years, then build out a plan of like, how are you going to get there in 3 years and work your way backwards? And what can you do all the way into today? Is there something you can do today that will get you there in 3 years? And just think like that and just start working towards that. I highly, highly recommend it. People say life is too short not to do what is in your heart. But I say life is too long not to do what's in your heart. Because for me, it just felt like it was Chinese water torture or something. Every day doing something I knew I didn't want to do. It felt like, oh my God, like I can get through things I don't want to do if it's a short period of time. It's like running across hot coals. I can do it. But when it's long and dragged out, I feel like I'm losing my mind. I saw a quote on Twitter. Everything in my life is revolving around Twitter right now. Twitter's sort of like a cocktail party. It's the break room at work. It's a park where I take Zimba out to go to the bathroom. It's my community center and where I live. Like it's kind of like this place, a hub where I communicate with people and where sometimes I just listen to people. Like if you go to a park and you sit on a bench and bring a book and you overhear people having conversations. That's what Twitter is for me. It's a bunch of different things. It's also like a news feed and whatever. So I love Twitter. Have I mentioned I love Twitter? I don't think I've told you in the last 24 hours how much I love Twitter because I really love Twitter. I love Twitter. I love Twitter. Twitter. A lot of people tell me, when they find out about my documentary and, they ask me, oh, what's it about? And I tell them, they go, I don't really have a dream. And I'm like, it's funny because I think it's just a semantic. Like I call it a dream. Some people call it a goal. Some people call it the way that they want to live. I mean, there's a couple subjects in my documentary that don't like to call it a dream. They like to call it living life the way they want to live it. They feel like the word dream is a little fluffy or whatever. But for me, I like the word dream. So I have dream, and I'm the director, so that's why it has the word dream in the title. I say to them, and I saw a quote on Twitter that says, find the thing that makes you come alive and then go do that. That's what it's all about. It's about finding that thing that makes you come alive and go do that. That's what's most important. It's not about calling it a dream or having some big dramatic cool story to go along with it. It's really just about finding that thing that lights you up from the inside, that makes you excited. And you feel like you're part of something bigger than yourself, that this is where you're meant to be. You get this feeling of, I don't know what it is, like elation or like vibration. And it doesn't even have to be anything like that other people would deem as exciting. It could be like, I want to be an emergency room surgeon. I mean, I don't know. That is actually exciting. Twitter shout out. Twitter shout out. This is sort of an interesting one because, as you guys know, who've been subscribed to me for many years, you know that I've had recurring dreams about Jim Carrey, and I was so excited to find recently that Jim Carrey is on Twitter. I love Jim Carrey. I wasn't a fan in the very beginning. Like, I liked him. I thought he was kind of funny. But then I started having these recurring dreams about him for years, and it still continues to this day. So, not as often, though. It's real sparse now. But every now and then I'll have a little Jim Carrey dream just thrown into the mix. And when I started dreaming about him, it was before he'd become really spiritual outwardly, that people had seen that side of him. He was only like really funny. And I always thought, why am I having all these dreams about him? But once I started to see him, talk about his spiritual beliefs and everything, I was like, okay, I think I understand this. For me, I felt like it was just sort of like guiding me to my destiny, reminding me of that I'm meant for something bigger. And for me, because I was considering not moving back to LA. So it was kind of like, I think, anyways, I'll talk about that more later in another video. But I just want to say, the Twitter shout out is Jim Carrey. So it's twitter.com, Jim Carrey, all one word. And he also has an amazing website, which just got launched. I love it. It's like you could spend like a week there. You can spend like a week on his website because it's so cool. And so check out his website, it's jimcarrey.com. And then his daughter is a musician and singer. She's amazing. And she's in a band called the Jane Carrey Band. I know it's confusing. These kids, I wish they would just stick to straightforward names so we could all follow who they were. But anyway, she's on MySpace and all those things, but you can follow her on Twitter as well. I think she's the Jane Carrey Band or Jane Carrey Band, but I'll have the post or the link down here. So there you go. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And remember to find that thing that makes you come alive and just do it. It's just that simple. It's not complicated. It's really simple. Just do it, whatever it is. All right, guys, bye.